Hi, I'm Trista for Congress and President Trista 2028. That is if we have elections. And everybody tag your Tucson friends in the comments below and tell them to write me in on September 15th so we can give them hell. This is part 4, and today I'm doing a review of Mary Trump's incredibly important book, Too Much Never Enough, about Diaper Donald, how he became a lecherous monster. And check this out. His daddy has always bailed him out, and he was hemorrhaging money when he had those casinos. And in June 1990, Donald missed a $43 million payment, $43 million payment for Trump's castle. 6 months later, my grandfather sent a chauffeur with more than $3 million in cash to purchase chips at the castle. In other words, he bought the chips with no one with them. His driver simply put them in a briefcase and left the casino. Even that wasn't enough. The next day, my grandfather wired another $150,000 to the castle, presumably for more chips. These maneuvers helped temporarily. They resulted in my grandfather's having to pay a $30,000 fine for violating a gaming commission rule prohibiting unauthorized financial sources from lending money to casinos. If he wanted to continue lending Diaper Donald money to keep his casinos afloat, which he did, he would also be required to get a gaming license in New Jersey, but it was too late. Diaper Donald, he was hemorrhaging money, okay? And his dad. This shows you how he's managed to, fail upwards. He's always been a failure. His, 6 times, at least 6 times, filed bankruptcy. 7, I think, is 7, and United States will be the 8th. Ha 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 ha. And 6 times he got a deferment. They call him Cadet Bones First. And 6 times he changed his party. So the 666, you do the math. Yeah, keep in mind, Trump uppers, he changed party 6 times. He was a Democrat for more than he was a Republican. And he also said that if he were going to run for president, he would do it on the Republican Party. He said y'all were so stupid that you just believed anything. And I guess it's true, like a broken clock, it's right twice a day. So here we go. In addition to fronting Diaper Donald the money to cover his business's operating expenses, the banks reached an agreement with him in May 1990 to put him on a $450,000 a month allowance. That is almost $5.5 million a year for having failed miserably. So this dude, he gets and then, he just hates that he has a triplex apartment, the private jet. Daddy's little favorite monster, in order for the banks to keep tabs on him. It's such a weird arrangement. Diaper Donald had to meet with them every Friday to report on his expenditures as well as progress he'd made selling assets such as the yacht. Despite the restrictions, he continued spending cash he didn't have, including $250,000 for Marla's engagement ring, $10 million to Ivana as part of their settlement. Basically Daddy was always fronting, and he was a multimillionaire by the age of 3, I think it was. So much for the lie about getting a small loan from his father. Yeah, right. Believe that one. Fool me once, fool me 50,000 times, shame. By the way, his daddy got rich off of government handouts. He was a slumlord, and he actually got sued and lost in a action lawsuit of discrimination in housing against black people. People have said, oh, I don't think he was racist. Well, how about the fact that in 1927 he was arrested with 1,000 other Klansmen who were rioting against cops. New York, it's in the New York Times. And shame on the New York Times, by the way, for not covering this more seriously. They just accepted his fascist bluster tactic of saying, well, he wasn't charged. He didn't go to jail, so you can't publish any research in the New York Times about it. So they just roll over and play dead. So yeah, she talks about how he kind of fraudulently tried to exploit. He exploits everybody. Do you realize how many people have gone out of business? How many contractors' lives he's ruined? Their businesses have had to go belly up because of him and his refusal to pay people. And by the way, he had illegal aliens, as they call them, Lardo, lots of them. And also, he constantly hired undocumented workers on his construction sites because he don't have to pay them. Duh. By the way, Krasnov is his spy name. He's been a Russian asset since 1987. There have been several KGB officials, former KGB, who have confirmed that, yeah, he was recruited. He's easily manipulatable through flattering him, through flattery, and which is, obviously, yeah. He's easy. They targeted him because he's easy target to recruit as a Russian spy. So this dude has been a frickin' Russian spy. And by the way, Muskrat is also a spy. He turned off Starlink over Ukraine and over Taiwan because the Chinese dictator asked him to turn it off over Taiwan, and the Russian dictator asked him to turn it off over Ukraine. So who are we allowing to ruin our country? And shame on the spineless Democrats in Congress. Never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. But that's why y'all need to send me to Congress so we can give them hell. We need to send a watchdog to Congress. We need to send an ass kicker, not another ass kisser, to Congress here in Tucson, Arizona in September 15th. Tag all your friends in the comment section and tell them to write me in TRISTA, award-winning Oxford, Berkeley, type in Medical University, researcher, scholar, comedian, writer, multimedia journalist, teacher, published author, and I'm going to be publishing more books too. How about one about the case for treason? And yeah, check out my Substack, Trista de Genova. I'm preparing 100 plus Congress-ready resolutions to impeach them all. Be impeached. This is my brilliant strategy, by the way. They all must be impeached, together. You know how the spineless Democrats, they keep saying, oh, our hands are tied. We did the votes. Oh, well, you dumb fuckers. You need to get these arseholes, these treasonous D-bags on the records. So we must impeach them all. You need to send me to Congress because none of these spineless Democrats are doing a damn thing. One person, you know what they can do? They can call for an immediate vote. That's what we need to do. So my strategy, and you need to support me, smash that like and follow, and to help boost my algorithm, because they definitely don't want me to get elected to Congress, and that's exactly why you need to elect Trista to Congress, to give him hell and to impeach them all. We need to impeach Mango Mussolini, 200 insurrectionist traitors in the Republican Party, and in fact abolish the Republican Party. I have a resolution for that on my Substack, Trista de Genova. And also 6 corrupt AF Supreme Court justices. What is waiting for? The country is burning. Send me to Congress. I'll do it.